So I've got the shape made for the bottom of the tank. This one's going to fit into the bottom of the belly pan right underneath the bike. That's the basic shape for the bottom bit. So I'm going to transfer this shape onto some stainless steel, get it cut out, bent, welded up. Which way around does it go? It goes in that way. I'm also, that like that, then going to have a bigger piece that's going to come up in here, and the radiator for the motorbike sits here. Oil filters in there, so this whole space can be filled up with petrol as well. So I'm going to have to build this up as well once I've got the bottom bit made, fabricated up. So I've now got all the metalwork marked out for the bottom of the tank. So imagine that sits in there like so. That's that side, turn that, that's that side. Got all these little cuts and bend lines, cut them off, do that. So that will be the bottom half of the tank that's going under the belly pan. And the plan is I'm going to get some more metal ordered up. I'm going to make a piece of metal to go over the top of here, weld that into place. There's a line there because the plan is I'm going to expand that up over and out that way as well, so we can work on that once we've got the bottom bit done. So to get this bottom tank fabbed up, then I need to cut all this out. And ideally I was going to try and bend it and make it all out of one piece, but it's going to be a nightmare trying to bend this halfway along there without bending that. So plan is I'm going to cut all the individual pieces out, position them all right, spot weld them all in place, then weld them all up. So I've got the first bits cut now. That's the side of the tank, bottom of the tank, the other side. So it's going to go like that. This one's going to go up there. This one's also going to go up there, but this one needs to have a bend put in there as well, so we'll have to get that bend up, then we can tuck them all into place, put the ends on, see if that fits. So welding the bottom tank up now, so set square clamped in there, hammer against it just to keep it tight, and I'm going to start spotting all this up, get the other two bits on the other side, and then I can make the top piece, then I can get it onto the bike and see if it fits. So the original throttle bodies that were on the blade damaged in this corner, and looks like what happened is when somebody's took the airbox off, they didn't realise that bolt was in, they've rived it off and they've smashed it there. So we've got to replace the throttle bodies. However, I've already modified the fuel rail that's already on the bike, so I'm going to take the fuel rail off, use the other fuel rail, and I'm going to modify the injectors. Now the standard injectors in these are 240cc injectors. If you take these off and decap them, they should flow roughly about 600 cc's. So the plan is I'm going to run the original injectors, but I'm going to decap these, and if I can't get enough fuel flow on the dyno, I'll quickly swap the other injectors out for these injectors, see if these work any better. So to remove the fuel rail, pretty simple, just 3 M8 bolts. Remove them off either side. There's 1, 2, 3, get them screwed out. Then once you've got the 3 bolts out, basically just lift the fuel rail off. Now it'll either come off with the injectors or without them, as it's done here, 2 and 2. And they're basically just in the top of there. It's just an O-ring seal that pushes up in there, seals in there. Same as the bottom, slots down into there. There's a little rubber seal in there, so that just slots into that, and the injectors just pull out. So there's your fuel rail. Pressure regulator normally goes onto there, fuel return line, fuel in line goes on the end, but we've modified that on the other one. And then we've got the injectors here. So basically what we're going to do is remove this cap off of here, off the end of there, when I can pull it off. Now that cap comes off of there, and then you remove the cap out the end of the injector. So get the injectors off, remove this cap off the end down here, and that just, there you got a little lip in there, just pops off. Then what you have in here is, if it will focus on the end of that, around the outside of there is a little cap with 4 holes in. And where that's welded on the outside, you can see the weld marks on the outside. You have to slowly grind all that away to take the cap off of it, and that's why they call this decap and injector. So the knack is, you've just got to get it very lightly on the edge of the grinding disc, like so, on the front like so, and you're just taking the edge off so that cap in the middle comes off. So you just, I don't know if you can get that to focus on there, see if it'll work off. Very thin cap on the edge of that, you might be able to see it there. That cap has to come off, so just grinding the edge of that away so that we can take this cap off the top. Now what you'll see is, if we can pick this up, that end cap has now come away. Can't really get that to focus, but the end cap's come off anyway. So now what you've got is the end of the injector. Looks like that. So that end cap's now come off, and you've just got the actual end of the injector open up. So this will flow way more fuel now, and we've just got to do that with all 4 injectors. So we've got the decap fuel injectors all modified now, ready to go into the bike. The new throttle body to go on to replace the damaged one is ready to be cleaned. I've stripped the throttle position sensor out because it's smashed and fooged from wherever it's come from on transit or whatever. So that's just garbage. Put the one off the other bike on there. Gonna get these cleaned out, fit the new injectors back into there, put the fuel rail off the other bike that's modified on top of that, and then I've also been ordered a Power Commander 5, and I've also got a 3-bar map sensor now to go on the bike. So there's a 3-bar map sensor. So I've got to wire all this in, find somewhere for this to live. I'm hoping that's going to fit above the fuel tank in the tail unit. That's the cable to connect the map sensor, and that's the map sensor. So I've got to try and work out how this is going to fasten the back of the plenum as well. So I've got to find somewhere for the map sensor to get mounted onto it. Now ideally you'd want it sort of in there, up in that plate in there, up in here, because this is directly onto the, and the plenum onto the throttle bodies. The side view of that. So in there, so there's the plenum, so air comes off the turbo through there, charge goes through there, through the charge cooler and into the plenum. Now the concern I have with putting it onto this plate, be easy to do. I could put it in here somewhere, there's space for it. However, I am concerned that it is going to be right next to the exhaust and the turbo, and I think that's going to be too hot for it. So the backup plan is I'm going to put it onto here, which is going to be the back of the charge cooler. So this is still all pressurized. So put it into there. Not the best solution. Ideally you want it as close to the throttle bodies as possible, I might see if I can maybe get it up in here on the cool side, but it's not going to be very easy. It's pretty tight in there, as you can see, really. So I think the best place for it is going to be on there. So it's one bolt, so I can drill a hole in there, thread that, bolt that into there, put a hole in the top for the actual sensor bit of it, that bit, and that just bolt it into there and run the cable off to the power commander. Also got the fuel pump ordered and the fuel filter ordered. So this is going to mount up under the tank. It's a 004 Bosch pump. So fuel from the tank into there. I've got fittings as well, ordered a bag full of fittings. So fuel line fitting into the tank, bit of pipe into there, pipe from there, there's a little mesh gauzy thing in there, pipe from there, pumps it out of there, through here, and then I'm going to have to run it through this little see-through filter, so I can filter the fuel before it goes up. And from there, these are 8mm, so 8mm inner diameter pipe, run that up to the fuel rail. Then I've got fuel to the system as well. The only issue of really concern I've got with the whole fuel system is, are the injectors going to be big enough? Guess we'll find that out when we go to dyno it. So for the plasma cutter out, the good tank, cut the filler out, cut these out either side for some air vent. Might put one in here yet, I haven't decided. Cut all the bottom out of it, that is down there. So just got to tidy this up, tidy that up in there, get this edge tidied up, same on the other side. And then I've got this mesh over here. Plan is we're going to put that gauze underneath there and under there, so we've got some gauzy mesh over the top of them, so we've got some air vents in the tank. So I've now got all the vents in the tank, all the way around. Now what I need to do is, there's a mounting point goes on here, that goes on the headstock on the bike. However, I'm going to try and lift the tank up a little bit as well, so it'll miss the exhaust, bulk the bike out a bit as well, give some more space underneath. So what I'm doing is, I've got the original bracket off the tank here, fit the damper up so I make sure the tank still misses it all, and then make a plate that goes from here up the inside of the tank, so I can lift the tank up a bit higher so it misses it all. So I've got the fuel tank skin all finished up now, got the 3 air vents onto it. Also thinking I may put a couple of holes in there or some sort of detailing in there just for a bit more airflow, don't know yet. We'll see. I've also modified the bracket inside, you can see that from there. So that used to be pretty much welded straight up in under there, so we've added about 1 inch in just to lift the tank up and make it a bit higher, and that just, when it's on here, gives it a bit more airflow again in there because it lifts the tank up, makes it a bit higher, and should help with cooling a bit. So back on with the turbo finally at last. It's been a good few months since I did anything with it because I was making children with the wife, so that sort of kept me busy for the last 8 months, but got loads of free time now and can start doing this again. So not many lists left of the not many lists left on the wall of things to do, so got to wire in the map sensor, which is mounted on the back of the plenum. Get that wired in, fastened into the power commander. Also I've got to finish the fuel tank off, which is under there, so I'm going to finish that off today, bottom fuel tank. Also got a little bit of plumbing to do, and then that's it really, and after that it's all cosmetic, so today we're going to get cracking. So plumb the fuel tank, we're going to have a little piece comes up here, fill this area in up here, so we've got extra fuel in there. So the headers used to be there, but they're not there now, so I'm going to have a piece like that. It needs to go up there, fits on the front of that like so, and get it right. Have a piece up in there, fill this whole area up, get about another 2.5–3 litres of fluid just in the top of there alone, so get cracking and get that fabricated. So fuel tank's going in here and up under there. Oil filter's in the way. I still need to be able to get the oil filter because I want to be able to service it without having to strip everything off of it. So I'm modifying the tank slightly. So cut this circle out of there, same the other side. So the oil filter fit in there, so we can still get the oil filter off. So that's what we're doing now. So fuel tank fits in now. I can get the camera in there. It's pretty tight around the oil cooler housing, but put a little bit more space on the top so that fits in snug. So starting to get there. On the other side, it all looks pretty good. Everything fits in well now above the tank. Tank fits in well, it's out the way of the wheel, and it's clearing all the pipes at the top, so it's looking good. So fuel tank's starting to get there now. This now fits around the oil cooler and the oil filter housing, which goes there, with about 4 or 5 mil of space around the outside of it. Now I'm going to make the front panel match the back panel. Then I'm going to make a fillet to go in there, fillet to go in there, and then I'm going to make a curved piece to fit into there that goes in as well. So it's getting there. It's taking time, just making this top piece and mounting it on and off the bike every sort of 20 minutes is time consuming, but I've been on for 5 hours today and I've got this top piece made, some of the metal fabricated for it, so it takes a load of time, but it's getting there. It's better to take time now than have to mess about later once it's all done. So get it right first time. So fabricated the bent bit, that's into there, then it goes in. There it goes, about there. So that goes into there, so now I'm going to tack weld that in, grind it all flat so that fits in nice and smooth. So fuel tank's getting there now. Got the scoop all in ready for the where the oil filter mounts. Fits lovely. Just going to make the top piece one here, top bit from there and a bit down there, and that's the fuel tank finished. So finally starting to get there. So fuel tank fits in lovely now, all bolted up. Fits in there, get into the oil filter. Plenty of space in around there on the oil filter cooler, and quite pleased with how well that's fitted into there.